everyone. Happy Wednesday. This is Simon with AvaTrade, and we're starting our Wednesday's webinar, Interactive Trading Conversations. My name is Simon. I'm a Senior Account Manager with AvaTrade, and I have a privilege of being involved in trading for over 24 years, quite a journey. And 11 out of 24, I was a prop trader in New York City. That's how I started. And after doing that intense trading for about 11 years, I moved on and I also started to mentor and educate others. And I'm very happy that I have this great opportunity to be assisting our customers at AvaTrade. The agenda of the webinar, I see some regular people, also see some new faces, so I'll just kind of go over it with everyone. We ask questions about specific markets, we discuss it, we analyze. We'll take a look at the charts for technicals. If I know any fundamentals on the instruments that you ask questions about, I'll be happy to share with you. Of course, it's all public knowledge. I don't have access to the inside information. We have up to an hour, as usual, and I hope that we'll have enough questions or even more. My dream is to have more questions that we can address. So far, we didn't get there, but I'm not losing my hope. And the whole idea of this webinar, it's the podium is yours. You ask questions about specific markets, specific stocks, indices, whatever instruments you are interested in learning about. And as I said, we have up to an hour. And if we run out of questions, we'll just stop earlier. Risk warning, you can find the full statement at avatrade.com website. And of course, everything we do here is purely educational. We do not suggest any trades. Social media channels, please subscribe, follow us at Telegram, X, which used to be Twitter with the cute birdie. And my favorite, as I always say, a YouTube channel where you can find tons of very useful information, including educational material, tutorials and platforms, and webinars that you miss or you're about to miss, or you just want to go and look through or browse through the past webinars. Please subscribe to YouTube, click on the bell, you'll be notified. And of course, if you like it, click on likes. Eric already sent the question. I'll get to a question in a moment. As a tradition, for the warm-up for the past, I guess, few weeks, I'll be using the questions that we received. So I'm going to go through them. And meanwhile, you can type your questions the same way you confirmed that you could see me in the questions window. Just type your questions there and we'll go one by one. Okay. So first question, gold. Why do investors turn to gold during economic uncertainty? You all heard the phrase safe haven, right? And it's been going, I've been saying these things many times. You take historical events, wars, any other issues in the world through centuries, somehow gold became a safe haven. People used to carry around the golden coins and, just keep it in your pocket, or you can travel or run away or whatever the situation is, you can come and end up being in a different part of the world. And it's kind of international currency, so you can support yourself and your family. And the same thing now, if you could see sometimes, lately it's a little confusing because gold is not just the safe haven, it's also the anti-inflation instrument. So as we saw, even physical gold was bought by central banks just to offset the local inflation. So that's a separate topic. But sometimes you see the sell-off on the market, and you could see that at the same time gold is going higher. So you understand that traders take money out of the market. Nobody wants to lose money. So even if they don't make money in gold, which lately gold's been super strong, but at least for traders, for simple people, for retail traders, for anybody, gold remains a safe haven. So they kind of park their money if they make some profits, it's good. If not, at least they know the money is safe in gold. It's been going on, I guess, for a while. Okay, that's as far as gold. Guys, I see your questions. Please pile up your questions. No worries. I'm going to go through them. Just want to go through these two more questions. Oil, what factors are currently driving oil prices up or down? Good question. Oil has been, while I'm answering, it's probably good if we take a look at the chart. Oil has actually went from 60s to hitting 80 and then back down, right? Here we go. So, if you're trying to learn something, it's important always to zoom out so you see the big picture. Now, a huge move in oil started here, right? Pandemic time, it looks like it. And then it got more intense when Ukraine war, I think, started. It went all the way to 130, something like that. Then we had the sell-off. I think a lot of this sell-off to do with China. As you know, China, as you see here, China was really, really behind all the economic growth in the world as they lost a lot of momentum during pandemic with their zero tolerance policy against COVID. So they're still in trouble, as we know it. So China is the biggest, I would say, buyer of oil. So going back to oil chart, we had a sell-off, and then we start zigzagging here. The moment we hit the area around 70, some buyers start coming in, and as you could see here, it was a huge accumulation around 70. As you could see, they were just sewing this level up and down, and the moment, I guess, whoever loaded nicely in oil, the oil actually went up. Here, a lot of it to do with geopolitical situation, the war in Middle East, and so on. And then we came to a strong resistance from back. You look to the left. This was August 2024. The sell-off happened here. And the moment we hit that level, the sellers came in again and pushed it lower. So I guess since Trump came to office, I think today's the third day of him being a president. Since then, oil's been going down. And I'm going to quote Trump, his favorite phrase, drill, baby, drill. I think one of the executive orders he signed actually in front of the television, I mean, we all saw it. I saw it personally. One of the orders, I think they're opening Alaska for drilling. So really, he's trying to drill a lot of oil, bring the prices down, and improve things, and including inflation as well. So that's the current situation. So I think this current move down from these recent highs is with Trump idea of drill, baby, drill. All right. Also, we had a little cooling in the Middle East, as you know. On Sunday, it was official ceasefire came to play. There was some exchange of hostages, or return of hostages in exchange to prisoners. And it looks like things are cooling down a little bit, so that also kind of released the worries about the supply part. Right. So on the supply part, you have the producers, OPEC, other things. On demand is the economy in general and Chinese economy specifically. Right. So that's on oil. And let's see the last question. How do big companies like Tesla and Apple influence the overall stock market? This is a simple question. You know, Tesla, Apple, and a few other stocks, they are major players in indices. So the earnings are moving the prices. The other events are moving the prices. By the way, Tesla's been doing good since Trump came in. As we know, Elon Musk and Trump, I think, are good buddies. You know, I can say that. And Tesla has been doing pretty good. Since then, of course, the initial move was strong. Then we had correction, and we're still above 400. Now, lately, something's happening in Apple, and I realized it. Even if the market went up into the upside move. Apple has been sliding, and as you could see here, yesterday was a gap down, and we came to 220. I don't know exact fundamental reason, but logically speaking, I know the sales in China are down. I also know, and it's not just in Apple, any phone producers, electronic producers, with the potential hike in the tariffs with China will be suffering, and it would be really hitting the profits, and they would need to change, I guess, the business model to survive, because it will be more expensive to produce simple iPhone or simple any phone, and they would need to raise the price, and that would take them out of competition. So I guess that could be a reason. But in any event, technically, we came on Apple to 220 level. It's an important level. A few times we stopped here. We played around here. We actually stopped here on the support level before making this huge move to the upside. So we're currently on a very strategic level here. So that's the answer to the question. The stocks with the high market value, they're really moving the markets. And if the markets are moving, the indices are moving, that it definitely affects the other participants or the other members of those indices, smaller stocks and so on. And that's how we see the move up or down. Okay, so we're done with the homework or home questions, and we're going to questions that you guys posting. So far I have 2 questions, so please let's do a little bit more activities, and I'm going to start with Eric's question. It says Netflix has a great earnings report, can we look at it? Absolutely. You can't see much here because it just opened with the gap, but yesterday the stock price hit almost, I think, few cents lacking from $1,000. I watched it. See, it opened today with the gap and then sliding. So the high of today, almost 998. They had great earnings. I think 4.25 per share against 410. And really, I have it somewhere. I was doing briefing for my team. In any event, they beat the record subscription and everything. Actually, subscription, I'm not sure, because I think last time they said starting this year they will not report it. But earning per share and revenues were beyond expectations. So very, very strong. And as you could see here, the gap up was strong, and then we give away some of it. So this is the current situation. As you could see here, this is live chart as we speak. It's been strong. I'm using Netflix a lot. They have great shows, great movies. I think competition is far behind, and they're just doing great. Especially, I guess there was some short interest here, so this gap created a lot of short covering and more moves to the upside. So Netflix is looking good in general. Okay, Andre is asking, is there any pattern on gold? I'm trading gold now. Gold is on the way to make highs. And if you remember, maybe even last week we mentioned that gold's been trading in this channel about 115 points between 26.05 and 27.20. Yesterday we broke through it. A lot of it to do with the yields finally give in a little bit. The 10-year yields move lower, and the gold had a nice move higher. In the moment we closed above this channel after a long time, it looks like today they accelerated the buying. So the question now would be, technically speaking, let's see if we're holding this level. That's what the sell-off after 3 consecutive highs here, 3 days. We actually sold. So the high of this large candle is 2749.66. We are trading higher. The question is, how are we going to close the day? So if we are closing higher, there are chances that we continue to test the all-time highs. We're not that far from it. And it could be the opposite. We could see the yields rebounding and moving higher, which they are trying this afternoon. And the gold might come straight below this 2750, right? So that's gold, Andrea. Okay, guys, we are doing good, but I was hoping for more questions. So let's be a little bit more active. Here we go. Eric saving the day. GBP USD. Beautiful. GBP USD is recovering a little bit as dollar index. It's today moved to the downside. Today we're bouncing a little bit to the upside. So pound did, of course, the opposite right here, right? We had a nice move, and it actually looks very nice. But let's follow our rules. We're going to take a look in the big picture. So, and as you do that, it actually makes sense why we bounce from that specific area. Take a look. 1, 2, 3, a lot of actions here. 4 from here. We made actually a higher high. And the low of this candle, 120.95. And the low of this candle, 120.99. Right? We didn't get there to the previous support by 4 pips. As you could see, the buyers coming in. Again, whatever we say, just the speculation, just trying to make sense what's happening. So as you could see here, we have a lot of actions around this current level here from which we just bounced. So it could be that from here, we might be moving higher. And if you see the price action here, a large candle and the 2 consecutive days, even with this huge tail, we're trading at the top part of this candle. So there is a possibility that we might be continuing from here to the upside, right? And that's on pound. It went down, of course. I think the latest inflation numbers from UK were not so great. And the pound has been moving. Also, they have a lot of political issues. Also, I think the recent drop in pound was, I connected to something that I heard on Bloomberg when they said that the investment, business investment in UK is at a very low level. So if there are no investors, that means the demand for the local currency is also depleting, right? If you're buying something in the UK, you'll be paying in a local currency, and if you're not really buying and investing, that would be probably diluting the currency. So the current situation, we are below all the moving averages. We're trying to recover here after some accumulation. Let's see. Of course, it depends what's happening in the UK, and also, of course, it depends what dollar index will be doing. All right, great question, Eric. Thank you. Any information? Slavika is asking Germany 40. Great question. Germany 40 is on steroids. It's been flying like it's never tomorrow. I think today is cooling down a little bit. Let me find it. It's been super strong, just making all-time highs. Here we go. And I really, fundamentally, I'm not sure what's so great in Germany. I know they're closing shops, they're closing the auto dealers. I think Volkswagen, one of the biggest, was having issues and so on. Nevertheless, it's going higher. So technically, all we can say, the sky is the limit. From here, there's nothing holding it from moving higher, right? That's number one. Number two, what I observed, maybe, just, but it doesn't connect. I was thinking maybe the investors kind of done with the investing in the US because we had the great year 2024 when a lot of people made a lot of money in US markets. So maybe traders are looking for opportunities where the potential is higher, and maybe that's why they're investing into German index. By the way, UK FTSE had a nice run lately. Here we go. Also, finally, taking over the all-time highs that we established back in May. It took a while. So it looks like European markets are being attracted. I guess we'll see what happens. Now, technically speaking, at some point we might see correction. The only thing that really makes sense here for possible correction As we're going higher here, take a look what's happening to the volume. Moving higher, volume is getting lower and lower. So it's a volume divergent. And we might see that at some point, I'm not saying we're going to crash, but we could see potential. I mean, it's no brainer. The correction should be coming at this point, like we had here before the move. But on this divergent, we might actually see some serious correction. And that's German DAX. Great question. As far as going higher, I think you should take each day as a new resistance and a new support in this case. Today, it's been, this is hourly chart. This is, we had this similar situation here, 3-4 hours down, continuation, 3 hours down, continuation is not that strong. So at some point we might see either profit taking or some kind of reversal the trend. But as of now, it looks very, very, very bullish. All right, Andrea, I hope that works. Sorry, that was the question of Slavica. Andrea is asking, is there any confirmation when entering the trade? I struggle a bit with it. Not only you, Andrea, I have a surprise for you. There's no confirmation, okay? There are millions of indicators, there are million of fundamental things, but I think each trader needs to develop the edge or the style of entering. There are so many different theories and setups, and as I said, indicators for that entry. Nobody can tell you. You need to find for yourself. A lot of traders are entering when they see certain setup, but even if setup is strong, they still have a plan for exiting. And if you speak to a lot of traders, a lot of them also do, try in and out the short exits, short stops, stop loss orders to be protecting the equity and re-entering. I'll just give you an example of, I really don't know. And somebody give me the instrument so we can take a look, try to learn about the entries maybe as I'm waiting for let's see the last instrument that we had the question on, German DAX, right? So you can find a few classical entry. It's very simple. You have a move up, correction, and continuation. So the tough question is, when do you get out, right? When do you get in, right? On this correction, the move is up, there's a correction. So some traders would get after a big candle down without, those are, high risk traders, I would say. They don't need confirmation. They just take their chances. And take a look, they could be right here, right? The very next candle, they are in the money. Then whoever got in, they have a stop at the low of this candle, right? And take a look what the big money is doing. Again, conspiracy, quote unquote, right? They get all the stops out, closing higher, and then we fly, okay? So you can zoom in the smaller time frame, but you need to look for some kind of confirmation. And in a lot of cases, if you're waiting for that pullback and re-entry, you will see these tails, and sometimes it's a sign that the stops are out. Actually, I was listening to one of the traders. He passed away a few years back. One of the greatest traders, and one of his theories, he said, I place my orders where I think others placing their stop orders. And that works. Take a look. Before every big move, you see these tails, right? Why the tails? Because the big buyers, they need liquidity. They need you to chicken out and sell it to them. Because if they just put the market order, they will be paying up more. So they're trying to buy at the nice prices. The only way to do it is to make you get out of your position with panic and sell it to them, and then they take it up. Take a look here. We had a nice correction. Some people probably got it a little earlier, but then we had a nice consolidation here and move higher. The same thing. I mean, it looks good when you look in the past, it makes sense, but when you're in this situation, you need to make decisions, it's a little harder. But you need to find your own game, right? Andrea, good question, great question. All right, guys, do we have any more questions? I think we're good. We did half an hour, which is not bad. I hope. Okay, Andrea, you're welcome. Andrea wrote, "Thank you a lot. Thank you a lot. I thought I'm going crazy. No, you're not going crazy. You're just doing the best you can, and that's what we all do as traders. Guys, have an amazing afternoon, evening, or whatever time frame you are. Please come prepared for next session, so we'll have much more to talk about. And have an amazing rest of the week. All the best."